Hi there, it's Global Affairs Analyst Michael Bociurkiw here. Well, just 325 miles to the east of me, I'm in Odessa right now in the city of Mariupol, which is occupied by Russian forces at the moment. Pre-dawn hours, Russian President Vladimir Putin visited the city, according to Russian state media. He wasn't there very long. He was there again in the pre-dawn hours and had some what looked like staged events. But in the wider picture, this is nothing less than a war criminal visiting the scene of his blood-soaked crimes. Mariupol is where Russian forces March of last year rather, bombed maternity hospital number 3 during a ceasefire, killing 4 and causing 1 stillbirth. They also bombed the theater there in Mariupol later on in that month, relentlessly, even though it was well known that there are women and children that were seeking protection there. There were many deaths there as well. So it wasn't a bold visit. It was the visit of a coward whose world is getting very small because of the International Criminal Court warrant for his arrest for the very reason of presiding over the forcible deportation of Ukrainian children to Russia. The ICC also issued an arrest warrant for Maria Lvova-Belova, the so-called Russian Commissioner for Children's Rights. Well, I can, from what we've seen, I can tell you that none of these children seem to be getting their entitled rights, aside from being forcibly deported to Russia. They've been paraded as an instrument of public relations, paraded in front of a big stadium audience not that long ago, where they were coerced into thanking the Russian military for facing them. Many of them have been sent to faraway cities, many time zones away from Ukraine. And according to one Ukrainian NGO, the numbers of forcibly deported Ukrainian children is huge, over 16,000. A lot of people are asking, what does the ICC arrest warrants mean? Well, look, chances are that Putin will never be picked up transiting on his way, for example, to the G20 summit in India later this year. However, with some of the former Soviet republics, for example, Kazakhstan, drifting more towards the European orbit, it could be that he may get surprised and be picked up in one of those countries. But I do like what a ICC official said, is that, of course, it may take time for the arrest warrant to be served on Mr. Putin, but as we found out in the case of Slobodan Milosevic, is that justice delayed is also justice delivered as well. And it looks like the ICC went after what's called the low-hanging fruit in terms of going after war crimes committed by the Russians, and this was probably the easiest to prove. That is the forcible deportation of Ukrainian children. In fact, the Russians kind of self-admitted to doing this recently when they had this so-called ceremony in a Moscow stadium with these Ukrainian children. So again, it was a bit of a surprise to see Mr. Putin in Mariupol earlier today, but this was not the act of a brave man. I think it was the act of a desperate man looking for positive PR in his own country after an absolutely disastrous performance on the battlefield here in Ukraine, where a relatively small country like Ukraine, admittedly, okay, with Western weaponry, was pretty much able to destroy at least half of the Russian military. So he needed to show something. Mariupol is one of the few cities they still hold. They lost Kherson, and they're having a tough time defending. the land they already occupy, and in places like Bakhmut. Those are my thoughts for today on Sunday, and I will continue to deliver my opinion reports here, as well as on CNN Opinion and on various other channels in the days ahead. Thanks for watching.